Welcome back to the Weekly Consciousness. This week, I was looking at the stories of the Bible. Let's look at the story of Abraham. Abraham and Sarah are married for all these years, and they don't have a child. They don't have a child together. Finally, at a very, very old age, at the age of 100, God comes to Abraham and he says, gives him a child. Abraham and Sarah go through so much pain to have this child. Isaac is born. History continues. Isaac and Rebekah have similar trouble having children, and then Jacob is born. And we look throughout history, and many, many couples have gone through hardships to have a child. The story of the Bible of King David and his lineage, how it came to pass, is even too great to talk about. Through his lineage down the line, all kinds of stories. Whether it's a biblical story of Judah and Tamar, whether it's the biblical story of Ruth and the way she ended up with Boaz. And there's been many hardships in some of the righteous who have been born in the Bible. But we could look at it into our own life. Even our soul, even if we're not such righteous and our parents didn't have to go through that much to bring us into the world, but especially if our parents did. Imagine a couple who tried for 5 years and then went to in vitro and did everything there and all kinds of, and finally we come into this world. But even if it was natural, couple gets married or didn't even get married, a mistake happened, gets pregnant and has a child. At 19 years old, boom, child. Even that kind of child that happens by mistake or just happens naturally, but happens, get married, have a child, what we look as nature. Even that child goes through so much to leave from the upper worlds for the soul to come and its steps and its process until it's born. Each soul has a promise to fulfill. And we have to ask ourselves, are we fulfilling that promise? Whether it's a process so we could see that was difficult, like with Abraham, like with Jacob, or those biblical stories, King David, Tamar, Boaz, Judah, or our soul that seems to be natural, but had a tremendous metaphysical journey. Our soul comes into this world with a promise to fulfill. And we have to ask ourselves the question, are we fulfilling our promise? Our soul's gone through a journey just to get here. Just to be the person who we are. And it's a question we need to constantly ask, but especially in this week. Ask the question, are we fulfilling our promise? Let me give you a hint. The answer is no. And the question needs to be, what more can I do this week to fulfill my promise? Ask ourselves, truthfully. After we maybe lie to ourselves, say the yes, re-ask the question, find the no, and then ask ourselves, what can I do this week more? What can I do today more to fulfill the promise of my soul? Think about it. Have a wonderful week.